if someone was going to ask ChatGPT who the best real estate agent is in your market, would it know enough to recommend you? A lot of agents right now are going to be invisible on AI. It's not because they're bad agents. It is because the internet doesn't have enough information or AI proof to recommend you, right? And this is an interesting topic because right now we've been in this world where we're wanting to go for ranking or want to get things going. And that's the big thing of the last, era was SEO. Like, how did you show up and get enough SEO that you could be on that top of that list, right? Because buyers, sellers, recruiters, vendors of all kind are right now using AI search to be able to figure out who they're wanting to recommend. So the reality is, similar to SEO, is we're going to need to be getting to this next part and this next phase of what we're doing, which is called GEO. And the question is no longer, do I rank on Google? It's now going to be the new question of, does AI understand and why, and does it understand enough to be like, I'm going to recommend you as an agent, right? Because SEO gets you on that list, gets you there. GEO gets you named, quoted, recommended, and sourced, right? So the difference matters because AI is not showing, 10 blue links of saying, here, take a look at these. It's going through and giving an answer that the people are asking for. So how are you showing up, right? Let's kind of go back though. We have SEO and GEO. There's a difference. SEO is going to be what helps Google and the different search engines to understand, rank you, and put you up in there, right? And the reality is it still matters. GEO is what helps AI understand who you are, what you do, where you do it, and why you are trustworthy. So the goal is for AI to confidently name you in that answer because it hits those things. And that's going to be the big part of what we're looking for, right? So SEO is trying to get you up on the list, and GEO is trying to become part of the answer. So how do you become part of the answer that AI wants to tell you? And that's just kind of the reality, right? If we look at this, and say, okay, why is AI ignoring some agents and versus not and recommending others? It's not always because it's recommending the best agent. A lot of times it's recommending, who has the right answers for the people, what they're looking for. So it's probably because there's a few things why you're not getting recommended. So let's go through them. Reason number one, you're probably not getting recommended is what you're putting out there is just too generic, right? Hey, I'm a top agent, I can help buyers and sellers, or, I'm your trusted local expert. These are bad examples because they are way too generic, right? This is where you're getting into a spot where you're just putting information out there that every other real estate agent's going to say, right? It's like saying, hey, I'm an agent, right? That's not going to help you to be able to be the person that the AI wants to put you out there to answer, right? So some better examples, right, of what you're wanting to target and get out there is, I help families, move up from, in St. George and sell and buy without carrying two mortgages. Or I help Southern Utah land owners access water rights, right? And help them resell that. Like that's way more specific, right? Or I help relocate retirees, right? And I help them compare different areas like Sun River, Entrada, or Desert Color, or, right? What areas are you helping them kind of consider? Or, I help, agents, for example, this is a good one for me. I help agents stuck at that 5 to 10 transactions build a real estate business in St. George, Utah. How do you get more specific to be able to help get it there? And that's going to be that big thing because the main thing here is AI cannot recommend you for everything. It needs to understand specifically what that problem is that you solve. So how can you show up, be in that right spot, be in that right place so that you can be recommended for there? So that was reason number one. You're probably being too generic. Okay, reason number two. This right here is, that your proof is scattered, right? Or it's invisible. It's something, AI wants to figure out how to trust you. And the signals that they go for is that AI can read your website. It can read your Google business profile. It can see your reviews, right? It wants to be able to see your YouTube videos and the transcripts, right? Or your social bios. Is it going to be the same thing that's also over on your other social, right? Your posts. Do you have it so that on LinkedIn, you have information there, right? There's so many different ways that you can be mentioned and show in that way. And you want to be able to be showing up in the right way and proof that gives AI that trust in who you are and what you're doing. And that's going to be be consistent. Have the same name everywhere, right? So I wouldn't want to go, by Taylor and Tay and, I want to be consistent in what I'm doing, having the same address, the same phone number, the same business identity, so that it can then see me and say, this person is there, right? Because the reality is, if your digital footprint is thin or inconsistent, AI may not think you are even qualified. They may think you're unqualified, right? It may simply, not have enough proof to recommend you. So how can you go get and be where you have shown up in the right spots, in the right places, in the right way, so that we can be there, right? So that's reason number two. Reason number three. All right, reason number three is a good one. This one is, that you're not answering real questions. And we've all done this at times, right? The reality is most agents, and what we do is we like to show that we're productive. We show that we're doing closings. Or, hey, look at my new listing, right? Or, hey, here's a generic market update, which has some good information, but it's too generic, right? Or you can just be like, hey, call me. I'm here. I'm alive, right? That information is helpful, but the reality is you're not answering questions that people are going to be looking for. Because people aren't asking, hey, who's an agent who exists and lives and breathes? Right? They're asking for an agent and wanting specific questions that are answered, that are to them. And that's where AI is doing its best job to find that match and put it together, right? And that's what you're wanting to kind of be able to go through, right? Because here's some questions that AI might be thinking of, right? It's who is the best agent for selling my house in Ivans, right? How can you then show up there? Or what should I know before buying in Desert Color, right? Okay, that's some good information that you can showcase and show off. Or which St. George neighborhood are best for retirees? Or let's go through the different neighborhoods, right? Or who understands land and water rights? I mean, if that's something you want to focus on, then you should be having some content about it so people can find you, right? Or, there's so many different questions, but how do you get more specific on what that looks like? How are you going to answer them just so you can show up, so you can be answering those real things? Because the agent who answers the question becomes easier for the AI to recommend them. And that's going to be how they want to advise to say, hey, great, yes, use this person, right? Give Taylor Frampton a call for this, right? Oh, call this person for this. It's going to be because you answered the questions that they were looking for. Here's the reality, right? Those are three things that you could be doing incorrectly to not be showing up in the right spots. And that's going to be that process of how do we do that? So here's what you should be doing instead, right? I want you to decide what AI wants, or what you want AI to recommend you for, right? So if somebody's going to type something in, you want to be the person that they answer that, right? Is that going to be, you want to be known and be really good at the move up families? So the families who need to sell a house and buy another, and what that transition plan looks like, and what are costs, and how is this part going to look, and what are the different areas in St. George, so that you can truly show that you're the expert for that? Or is it going to be that you want to say, no, I want to be really good at helping retirees, right? Southern Utah is fantastic for this, right? I'm going to give neighborhood comparisons. I'm going to go through and give lifestyle fits, showing off these different places and what it could look like. right? For me, example, like I'm wanting to make it where it's like, hey, I'm helping agents in Southern Utah who want to grow from those 5 to 7 deals to being where they have the systems and tools and coaching where they can be at 20 plus, right? Being specific to help in that is going to be where you're going to be able to then work at the right content, the right things to help you get there, right? And that's going to be where you can get to the next step. And that's where you can then go and say, all right, I take this content, I ask AI, and I would personally ask Gemini for answering and figuring out the questions. Because if I'm going to be curious on, let's say, the move-up families, and I want to be specific on a move-up family, what is that going to look like? What are these people asking? I'm going to go to Gemini to ask and say, hey, I want to create a video explaining and doing this about people who, and the questions that they have from moving up, from changing from one property to another. What are the top 5 questions that I should be answering and showing that people are having over the last 30 days in St. George, Utah, in Cedar City, right? Be specific. So I want the time frame in there, right? I want where, I want what I'm trying to help, and then I want to ask for those questions. The great part is you do that, you're going to then get information back that's going to help you to be able to construct your whole video, to construct your script. You're going to be able to then go to ChatGPT and have it be where it works on the script for you. And you can then get and make sure you have those, and add your own flair. But it gives you then the ability to really be able to show up in that way where you can answer the question. And that's what I'm trying to get to, is you need to be out there answering questions for people and showcasing what people are looking for. And be specific, right? The more specific you can get on who you want to help, the more specific people are going to now find that video, find that answer from AI, right? It's going to be able to help them because they're looking for someone who can help with their answers, not just the top producer, right? So where are you showing up on that? The next thing is, this is where you're going to now take that, like I said, get those questions, create those scripts, and you're going to build 3 to 5 specific long tail phrases, right? Working on it so that you can say, hey, great, I want to go through this whole process and be broad of, okay, St. George real estate agent, be specific, right, of how to sell and move from this house to this house. What are the actual costs of selling a house and what does that look like, right? And then you're going to record it. And what I would say is, after you have it where you have enough of those that you can really be confident, you're going to go through and record. I would recommend at least doing 1 a week. Because if you record one long form that you can put onto YouTube and then take things from, you can use that information to do so much with. And that's what's really cool, because if you take that, you take the YouTube video, it's roughly 8 to 12 minutes, maybe a little longer. The crazy part is right now, people who were wanting specific questions sometimes will listen even longer, right? Maybe you're like me and you've sat down, and I've been geeking out on ones about AI, and I'm like watching, I'm like, oh, this is an awesome 24-minute, basically episode about what this is, right? And how do you get there? Have it be conversational, have it be focused on what that one question is that you're wanting to help those people out with, and make sure that you have specific angles in how you're going to help. The reality is, this video needs to be, helpful enough to stand alone. So they don't have to go to your video before, after, and different things like that. But you need to be in that right spot to be able to show up, be there, and then that will, over time, help improve your GEO because you're in that right place. And one crazy thing is you can now take that long video, that long form video, to help you in that way, which is going to improve your GEO, because you can put it out on YouTube, which, and they're going to search and find that information. You can take that and now do multiple things with it, right? And one thing you can do is you can go use Opus clips or different things, and you can cut it into smaller segments and do shorts. And the beauty thing with shorts and YouTube shorts or Instagram reels or, Facebook reels is they're targeted in different ways. And then you get into this interesting thing called AEO, which is about answers. And depending on how people are using AI, if it's going to be a quick, fast response or a long research response, it's going to go to different spots. So having it where you have the short form is going to give it where the AEO can actually target and find that faster. Really fascinating in that way. So how are you doing that, and how is that going to slowly move you up so when people are searching for something specific that you're the one that they reach out to? The cool part is I've seen this where somebody was asking something specifically. They went and typed in, hey, we want this, this, and that for an agent. And it gave all the reasons why they should hire this agent. So when that person called the agent up, the agent was hired without even doing anything else because AI was so specific on telling them why they should hire them. Wouldn't you like that to be you? I think that's super interesting. So, that's where this part comes in. The next step is going to be, all right, you've now taken your long form, you've made it into short, and now you're going to publish this and support it with text. So you're going to take that and put it in different spots. You need your YouTube title and description to be looking good. You're going to take that transcript and put it in a blog style recap. You're going to have it be where you already have those short clips and you put them out with your different comments and how, those kind of things. You're going to have it be where you're putting it on platform specific different places, right? And that could be like a LinkedIn. That could be, there's a whole bunch of different things there. It could be a blog, right? And then you're going to want to make sure that you have some form or fashion to like a call to action or a resource, because adding value is going to be huge, right? Even the video might by itself be enough value, but you're going to want to often have some form of call to action. So, great. For example, if you're liking this video and you've stuck with me so far, then please subscribe, right? And follow me, right? I'm going to continue to teach you more about how to work with AI in real estate and just the key concepts about real estate and business building. So I look forward to work with you on that. But that's I just think about my example, right? If I'm going to be building my GEO for what I'm wanting, I could have the bad example of I want AI to recommend me as a top real estate leader, right? That's very, very, general, right? It's very generic. So I need it for myself that, I need to be more generic. So I want AI to recommend Taylor Frampton and KW Ascend when an agent in Southern Utah asks how to go from inconsistent production to a real estate business with systems, coaching, and accountability, using AI to make sure that you're having the business that you want, right? Because I'm here, my goal is to help you get farther to where you want faster with us than you could without us. And that's going to be kind of where I'm going to build those different things and the videos and the information around that. So that's where it's, I want to teach you what I'm doing and have it be where you can really use that to elevate your business and get you where you want to. Because here's the thing, the goal is not to trick AI. That's just not the goal, right? There's a lot of things we can do to try and work towards that. But the reality is the goal is to make your real expertise obvious. You guys are experts. So showcase what you do and make it so it's so obvious that AI can see it, recommend it, and put you up there at the top. So, this is the great thing is AI search is going to be where it really can help you. It can reward you. It can give you clarity. And if you're too generic or inconsistent, right, then that's where you're going to start to become invisible. You're not going to have it where you're recommended. You're not going to have that. And, who knows how long we have until AI is starting to have it be where there's all the ads that people are paying for, or you have to pay to improve your GEO rather than just doing it, in this way. So I would say if you're like me and you want to be ahead of the game, you want to be ahead of the bell curve, and you want to be moving in that right direction, start working on your GEO. Start making your content, start getting it out to the world, and let's be the best we can be, right? So here's the thing. If you've enjoyed it, like I said, subscribe, follow. Would love to hear more from you. And, if you're thinking of, hey, where do I start with this? Drop a comment. Maybe with a phrase, that you think, okay, this is kind of what I'm wanting to do and how I want to show up for AI, or how I want AI to recommend me. And I'd love to give you feedback, right? Let's see if it's specific enough. Let's see if it's exactly, what you want to stand out for. But yeah, until next time, appreciate you guys. Let's keep on moving towards our goal and pushing for big things.